Are you thinking about heading to Ireland next year? Have you started planning yet? If you haven't, now is the time to do it. And that's what we're talking about in today's podcast. Hi, thank you so much for joining me again on the Traveling in Ireland podcast. Today actually begins a series that's going to take us through the end of 2022 that is all about how to plan your Ireland vacation. I'm really excited about this series because it's going to give you the step-by-step information to help you plan the best vacation possible. The first step, of course, is deciding to go to Ireland and when to begin planning that vacation. Now, I know that when do I start planning my Ireland vacation seems like kind of a no-brainer topic, but there is a reason that I am starting with this, and it all has to do with basically the past few years and how Ireland travel has changed kind of as the result of the pandemic. So when do you start planning your trip to Ireland? You start planning your trip the minute you decide, I want to go to Ireland. And yeah, I know it seems kind of like a no-brainer, but the reason I want to start with this is because 2019 was a massive, massive year for Irish tourism. From the 5 years prior, it just grew in leaps and bounds. And 2020 was set to be exactly the same way. And then, as you know, the world shut down and we had 2 years of a pandemic with very little travel in or out of Ireland happening. Now, at the end of 2021, and then as we got into the spring of 2022, things started to relax a little bit. We were seeing tourism numbers start to tick up a little bit, seeing a lot more interest in travel to Ireland. And then when Ireland dropped all of their tourism requirements, things went through the roof. At the beginning of 2022, the tourism experts were anticipating about 75% of 2019 tourism numbers would come through in 2022. And I'm willing to bet that by the time we get to the end of this year, we're going to see those numbers were really low. I think we're going to see 93 to 97% of 2019 numbers in 2022, which is terrific for Irish tourism. But because of all the changes that happened during the pandemic, people moving out of the tourism sector into other jobs because they needed to make an income, we saw a lot of disruption in 2022 with car rental shortages and shortages of driver guides, shortages of hospitality workers, hotels, and tourism companies and things like that. So 2022 really almost was a reset. And I don't think we're going to see things completely back to what we would consider normal for another couple of years. So all of that to say that visiting Ireland on a whim and kind of winging it through the country is difficult to do, especially if you're traveling during the high tourism seasons. So basically you're looking at June through September and then a little bit in May and October. Those are really popular times to visit. And if you just decide to show up and I'm going to take it as it comes, you might be left a little bit disappointed. So, if you're traveling during high season or you have really specific desires for how you want your trip to go, planning earlier is better than later. And more importantly, if Ireland is a once in a lifetime vacation for you, don't you owe it to yourself to plan your perfect trip? Something that's going to leave you with amazing memories and stories that you're going to share for years. So, if you plan to visit Ireland in 2023, now is the time to start planning your trip. If you're planning to visit in 2 years or Ireland's just kind of on your someday I want to visit list, I recommend you start your planning 9 to 12 months in advance with just your basics. Now, you can, of course, plan your trip in a shorter period of time totally doable. I do it all the time when I help people. But what I've found is that people who plan a spontaneous trip tend to get overwhelmed very easily because there's so much to consider. You have, what airport are you going into? Are you going out of a different airport? Are you taking a tour? Are you self-driving, using public transportation, hiring a chauffeur? What are you going to see? Where are you going to stay? How much are you going to spend? What are you going to pack? Will you visit the city? Will you visit the country? Will you split your time in between? Are you going along the wild Atlantic Way? Will you explore Ireland's ancient East? Are you going north? Are you going south? There's just so much to consider. So the list is just going to go on and on as you research. And then you're also going to have, your well-meaning friends telling you their ideas of what you must do. So there is so much that goes into planning an Ireland vacation. And I can hear some of you saying, okay, I don't want to deal with that. I don't like trip planning way, way, way too much. Well, lucky for you, I love trip planning and I'm here to help. Like I said, starting in podcast 125, which comes out next week, I am going to lead you through my Ireland vacation planning process, step by step for 16 weeks. And you'll learn everything that you need to know to plan your Ireland vacation. Each episode is going to be available in podcast, video, and written article form. So however you like to get your information, you're going to be able to get it and understand it and use it in the best way for you. Now, I do have a tool that can help you. It is the My Ireland Vacation Planner and Journal. This is something that I actually just released earlier this year, and it has 58 pages of planning and worksheets and all kinds of other beautiful things in it. So if you haven't seen it yet, it is the perfect accompaniment for this upcoming series. And it has, like I said, Ireland travel tips, planning worksheets. The final pages are a journal, has really fun prompts on it, and it's perfect for, writing down each day's memories, putting in ticket stubs, putting in pictures, however you like to remember your vacation. You can put it in these really fun final pages. It's spiral bound, so it is super easy to open, to fold back, to fold around. You can just all the way open, all the way closed, and use it just really in the way that is most comfortable for you. It's sized to fit into a travel bag or a backpack, so it's a perfect travel companion. And the pages are all archival quality, no bleed, and the cover has a nice thick coating on it, so your memories will remain safe and sharp. Now, if you really, really don't like planning vacations, or you just find it too overwhelming, I have other ways that I can help you. If you've been listening for a while, you know that I lead very exclusive small group tours. And when I say exclusive, all I mean is that I'm not doing, 3 tours a month. I'm not dropping one tour and starting another. These tours are specifically designed every year to include some of the most incredible experiences that you're going to find in Ireland. And they're designed by me in the way that I would like to take a tour. They only happen once or twice a year and have a maximum of 12 guests. You can expect unique adventures, really incredible experiences, great food, and first-class treatment. You're going to find more information on the tours at IrelandFamilyVacations.com and click on the Guided Tours tab. I offer custom itinerary creation. So if you don't like to do all the planning, but you want to give some input, let me do the planning and you tell me what you think. Just tell me what you do and don't like. We'll work together and we will outline your itinerary and have it just right for you. Now, if that's more help than you want, I also have Ireland Vacation Coaching. So what I do with that is I help you refine the trip that you've planned. I help you make sure that it's doable in the amount of time you have, that you're not doing so much driving that you don't get to really enjoy where you're at. I'll maybe point out some places that you don't know about that will fit your vacation goals and the the kind of things that you like to do, the things that you wish you knew about. So I help you with that. I have that available as 30-minute calls. You can book one, you can book two, you can book more than that. Um, I just help you in that amount of time to refine your trip, to make it just what you want, but you're the one doing the planning and I'm just helping you make it better. And finally, I have my free Ireland itineraries. These are great to either jumpstart your vacation planning, or you can follow them step by step, day by day, and have a great trip. So I would love to know how I can best help you. If you have any questions at all, you can always email me, Jody, Jody, at IrelandFamilyVacations.com. I would love to see how I can help you make your Ireland vacation one that will leave you with terrific memories and great stories. So I hope to see you again next week, right here at the Traveling in Ireland podcast, to begin the Planning Your Ireland Itinerary series. I hope you're looking forward to this podcast series as much as I am. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a 5-star review at Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you can't leave a review on your podcast app, you can leave a review at Ireland Family Vacations Facebook page, or take a screenshot and tag me at Ireland Family Vacations on Instagram with a few kind words. Questions or comments? You can always email me, Jody, Jody, at IrelandFamilyVacations.com. As always, thank you so much for listening. Slán go fóill.